Before we get into today's show, what is your confidence level right now in this Titans team as an organization as we get further into the season? We're nearing that trade deadline. We'll talk some trades today as well. But how confident are you? Scale it for me from 1, the low end, to 10 on the high end. We're going to begin with some Kristian Fulton conversation. And this pains me because I thought Fulton, after his second year, was about to take a huge step forward, become a borderline Pro Bowl, All-Pro, whatever cornerback. That has not happened. And not only that, the Titans and head coach Mike Vrabel are very clearly unhappy with the way Fulton has been playing. I've seen plenty of comments on our show, on social media, whatever, about maybe trying to trade away Kristian Fulton and play others in there at the cornerback spot. And we've gotten to the point where head coach Mike Vrabel didn't really shut down the idea or ask, did you consider benching him? And he didn't really shut that down either because he was mad. And that's a real issue for this team. Kristian Fulton said he thought he played well against Indianapolis. Blame the refs. I don't think he played well. I'm sorry. Here's what Vrabel said. I don't know. We'll see. Those mistakes better be correctable quickly. Would hope that we wouldn't be having these conversations about putting our eyes in the backfield and grabbing guys down the field when we're in phase. I think those are just things you have to be able to understand. You're in phase. There's no reason to grab a guy. That was in reference to the flag, and they thought about benching him after that play. They didn't choose to in the end. I'm pretty worried about Kristian Fulton. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Here are his numbers this year. 16 targets. He's allowed 13 catches, 196 yards. There are no touchdowns allowed yet. There's no interceptions. There's 2 pass breakups. You can't be allowing an 81% completion rate on you. That's straight up not going to work at this stage. You have to be better than that. This is unacceptable play, and it's really disappointing because we've seen really good play out of Kristian Fulton before. 2021, I was convinced after that year doing the show, he's going to be a star. This guy is going to have a massive season in 2022, and the results were kind of not as good the next year, and now they've fallen off a cliff. 2021, a 51.4% completion rate. That's awesome. This is in 13 games, by the way. 496 yards, 14 pass breakups. He got a little bit worse in 2022. I wouldn't say he was terrible, but I thought he took a slight step back. The pass breakups go down. Only 11 games played. He was also targeted less, so the yards per target kind of went the wrong direction as well. The other's cornerback spot was a huge issue for Tennessee. He's been bad this year. It's a real problem for a team that faces plenty of problems as we sit right now. So what do you think the Titans should do with Kristian Fulton? Do you want to keep him and keep playing him? Sound off in the comments. Do you want to trade him? If you think you can find a trade partner, type in T. Do you want to bench him? Type in B. It's the pinned comment on today's show, so go vote at the pinned comment if the ad comes here on YouTube. With as poor as he has been this year, I don't know if there's very much trade value beyond some of those day 3 pick swaps we've seen so frequently so far this year. Now, the draft capital spent on Kristian Fulton being a second-round pick might help convince the team, well, we can fix him. The problem is you have a tight timeline to fix him. This is the last year of his contract. So the adjustment period is not, it's not what you would like to justify taking a flyer on for that's going to need some time, and then boom, we got time, and okay, the season's now kind of over. I also don't love the other options right now in your cornerback room. Now, maybe what you could do is slide Elijah Molden back into the nickel corner spot, kick Roger McCreary out wide, and maybe that gets you enough success in your cornerback room. And then you give Caleb Farley a chance again once he comes back from the PUP list, which don't know how feasible that one ends up being there either. But you got to figure something out. Maybe it's just like, Kristian, get your act together. That's probably the route I would go because I've seen him play well before. In theory, that's still in there. Man, corner's a mental game. You got to have that dog in you, and right now, I'm a little bit anxious about that too for Kristian Fulton. What I'm not anxious about is buying tickets, thanks to Game Time. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. See the view from your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. I am a big fan of their zone deals. Obviously, I don't get to go to football games anymore, but everything else, baseball, basketball, the occasional theater for if the wife wants to go see a play. You know how that is, guys, right? Anyway, zone deals. What this is it allows you to pick the section, and Game Time is going to pick your seats. Especially for a football game, does it matter where you sit? Whether it's seat 3 or seat 13? I don't think so. On average, you'll save 18%. It's a really good deal. So download the Game Time app today, create your account, and use code TITANSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but create your account at GameTime.co. Redeem code TITANSCHAT for $20 off. Go download Game Time today for last-minute tickets at the lowest price, all guaranteed. The link and the promo code are in the comments section and the description of today's show. We're back talking Ryan Tannehill trade. I mean, come on, we knew that one was going to have to be the case, right? Or at least benching him or whatever. The Titans lost again, and Tannehill looks lost as well. That's a real problem at this stage of his NFL career, at this age, and what the Titans have behind him. 2 fairly high draft picks in Malik Willis, and of course the guy they moved up to get into the front end of round 2 in Will Levis. And the problem for Tannehill was not, look, you made the argument last year the supporting cast was not good enough, and that's probably true this year, but yikes, fellas. This is bad. You got 5 interceptions, 2 touchdowns for a 63.4% completion rate. That's not good. That's really bad. And we are now at the point, I believe, unfortunately, Ryan Tannehill is holding this football team back. It's bad, especially for what you're paying him, right? Not that the money even matters in the middle of the season, but still. You have Malik Willis. You have Will Levis. It's probably not this week. It's probably not next week either. But at some point, you got to try somebody else. And I'd love to trade him, frankly. I'll eat the money. I mean, the issue is, the one that makes most sense is the Jets, right? Is it Zach Wilson? We'll get to that in a minute. Tannehill's not significantly outplaying Zach Wilson this year. Yeah, it's that bad. So pick a starting quarterback. RT for Ryan Tannehill, MW for Malik Willis, or WL for Will Levis. Go vote for me in the comment section. Maybe you're over it already, but we're going to keep having this conversation. And once, inevitably, whether it's week 7, week 13, week 18, whatever, we'll talk about the young quarterbacks that are getting a shot to play. Here's why I'm concerned here. We can look at a bunch of different numbers. How about QBR? It's ESPN's record. It's not perfect, but it's a good data point, right? Ryan Tannehill is 30th among the 32 qualifying quarterbacks in the NFL in quarterback ranking. He's ahead of Bryce Young, ahead of Kenny Pickett. That's his offense is a dumpster fire, by the way. And he's behind Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones. That's just one metric. Success rate, which is like, okay, you drop back to pass. How did you have a successful play? Zach Wilson's last, then Kenny Pickett, then Ryan Tannehill. Yikes. On the bright side, I suppose, in a raw expected points added per play, Tannehill's 19th, which is the best metric I found out there so far to rank Ryan Tannehill, and it says he's a below-average quarterback. Not a fun place to be, I'll tell you guys that much. All right, our goal is 8,000 subscribers here on Titans Today. Help us get there. YouTube.com/Titans Today. Free videos when you guys subscribe. Let's go to Mecole Hardman. With the Titans having some injury woes to a certain extent, looking at you, Traylon Burks, concerns in the wide receiver room. The Jets are shopping Hardman right now. They gave him a 1-year, $4 million deal. It was a bad signing. It was kind of they had a lot of receivers at the time. They traded some, and Hardman still can't get on the football field with 22 snaps all season long on offense. He's buried on that depth chart, but he would not cost much for his new team. The $4 million, most of that's been paid by the Jets. You're talking maybe $1 million combined over the course of the season if you went after Mecole Hardman. So would you trade for him? Y for yes, N for no. Go vote in the comments. It's a pretty straightforward question. We'll spend some more time on it, but Y or N in the comments. Hardman's numbers here. He's been okay. He's shown some flashes. There's certainly speed, which in general, you don't have a ton of speed in this wide receiver room. Like Hopkins and Burks, their top two receivers when healthy, their calling cards are not speed. They don't have that burner juice. I like Kyle Phillips, but he's more quick than he is fast. Like he's not exactly a high-end burner type of guy that's going to make a lot of guys miss. He does, by the way, also offer some return value. I don't know if that's really a big area of concern for Tennessee right now, but it is worth mentioning that you have the option to put him back there on kick and on punt returns for this offense, or the special teams, I should say. Probably not a buying team, but it also probably only cost you a day 3 pick swap, so I did at least want to make note of it.